Thursday, guys. It's July 6th, 2023. Who's the guest? I was thinking about what I was doing. All of us kind of reminisce every once in a while, and you're always thinking about, stages of life and where we're at and what we're doing and how we feel about each other. Everything is just so fluid, right? You go through these stages of life and you remember how you were 5 years ago, and then you remember how you were 10 years ago. And then, everything is just so interesting, I guess you could say. So I have a simple message for you guys today. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Why wouldn't you, right? It's such a great channel. um, Fear, right? Fear is the mind killer. So fear always comes from like a survival mechanism, right? You're always afraid of uh, dying, right? I mean, that's the ultimate fear, right? The fear of dying. For me personally, I overcame that fear years ago just because I confronted it face to face and I didn't die, right? I mean, I can't even tell you exactly what happened. I just didn't die. If you're curious about that, there's a video on my YouTube channel called The River. Just watch that one. That tells you that story. And then I've had a couple other run-ins with close to death experiences where I could have died really easy, and I got knocked out and went into kind of another worldly experience that I don't remember very well, that I was only able to remember for a very short time, kind of a NDE experience. But fear, tries to override your life in a lot of ways, right? Fear of putting yourself out there, fear of whatever, right? So fear of lack. And so this happens in the community. Unfortunately, it happens in the spiritual community a lot, is people will put something on you and say, well, I have something you need, and then try and make you feel like you are in a state of lack. All of us have everything we need, right? Don't ever think that you don't have something that you need something from someone else. You have something to provide for the body. We're all part of a many-membered body. So all you have to do is figure out what it is that you have to provide, and then start providing that for your environment. When you're in a state of lack, or somebody's trying to sell you something, right? Then you feel like you need to, pull from your environment. Oh, I need this, I need that. Well, that's not really true. You are everything that you need, right? All you have to do is figure out who you are and how you provide for your environment, and then you'll be taken care of, right? So it's that circuit where you're listening and providing, and then you're receiving. And you don't have to worry about selling anything. Just figure out what you're providing, and start providing that thing that you need to provide. So as inflation goes up, obviously a large organism that has controlled this planet for a long time feels that as though you need their thing to, obtain other things. So, we live in that world. We were put here in this world, but there's always a better way of doing things, right? And so the underlying reality is just how I described it. As long as you are listening and providing for your environment, then you'll be taken care of. So, as the fear level rises, make sure you guys spread this word, right, and teach people that. Just figure out what it is you can provide, and you'll be taken care of. You don't have to worry about necessarily selling something or worshiping somebody else's idol, right? I mean, that's ultimately what it is. The dollar bill is just somebody else's idol, or money, or whatever you want to call it. It's if you believe that is going to support you, then you haven't really understood the underlying truth of reality, is that you are the source, you are the creator. So just make sure that figure it out, whatever it is that you have to provide. And then as the fear rate grows, because the fear rate is going to grow as inflation goes up, there's nothing we can do about it. It's part of it. It's where we're at right now in society. Things are just going to happen. Make sure you're grounding yourself, taking care of yourself. If you got a lot of fear going on, make sure you're getting rest and
grounding yourself, go take care of yourself, go outside, make sure you're interacting with people, because if your fear rate gets too high, you'll start to isolate, right? And you won't interact. Make sure you're interacting with people, call people, you know, try to give them positive energy, and then that's what you'll get back. And just take the time to shed that negative energy, but go swimming, ground yourself. Uh, keep doing that. And as inflation goes up, you'll see that you're still supported, and you'll still have a place to stay, and everything will be okay. And don't listen to anybody that's trying to pull you into their world. Say, "Yeah, I have what you need," right? They're trying to sell you something. Don't say, "No, I have something that you need too. Maybe we could work together." Always say that. Go give yourself a lot of self-worth. And so don't make the mistake, and this is a common mistake that I see, is that people will judge their self-worth as to how much money they have. Well, that's just somebody else's God, right? You don't ever judge yourself for your self-worth for how much material possessions you have. You have everything you need. You have an infinite amount of worth. All you have to do is find that thing that is you, to make sure that you're providing for your environment, and just do that, right? So, sending healing and loving energy for you guys. Don't ever judge yourself according to what you have or don't have. That's just somebody else's idea. And if they're trying to push some other idea on you about how much that you need to have so much money or you're not worth something, then say, sorry, I don't buy into that world. I am infinitely valuable, and there is nothing outside of me that determines my self-worth. I know my value and my love for the people around me and how I can support them. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.